Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the Future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
Sings along. Thank you. Just hold on, we're going home. Oh, yes. Welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And this is episode 67.
Hey.
Shout out to the sound effects. We back and TM.
You missed them.
Yeah, sorry TM. We'll have them next time you're here. But what's going on? We had to start off with that jam because last week we talked about it, and it's a good one.
It's a good one.
I listened to it like 4 times
notes.
before the show, and I still love it. It's crazy.
It's great, and also it's fitting because it was Canada Day this week.
What?
Yeah.
That's really close to our day.
And
yeah, 4th of July.
And Drake's a Canadian, as we all know.
It's 4th of July today when people listen to this.
When
Hopefully,
they're listening.
Do you think they'll listen on 4th of July?
Maybe if they're
while they're running.
Or I'm actually gonna listen to
Hell
us
yeah.
while I run the Peachtree Road.
I'm actually not drinking a White Claw today. I'm drinking a Steel Reserve. Shout out to my pops, Drew.
Oh, that's 6%. So it's the same alcohol amount as a White Claw.
It's a high gravity lager. And I bought it for him when he came to visit, and it's really the only reserves I have. So
how appropriately named.
It doesn't taste bad. I like it.
I love beer.
But we're drinking. Oh, I'm drinking. You're not because you got to run. But so tell us a little bit about this Peachtree race.
Okay, so it's a big thing here in Atlanta. It's called. Actually, it's kind of funny because we're recording on the same exact day that we recorded last year.
Okay.
Wow. Because Wednesday last year would have been the 4th, and so we couldn't record.
Okay.
So we're recording on the 3rd. So you guys will be listening to this on the 4th.
Our 4th of July special. Yeah!
Hey, America. But Peachtree Road Race, it's a 10K that goes all up and down.
I'm going to turn off the AC.
Yeah,
I always do this.
All up and down Peachtree. Which, if you know anything about Atlanta, Peachtree is first of all, the name of a bajillion different roads, but this is the main one. It's Peachtree Road. And
every road here is Peachtree.
So 10K is 6 miles, and Peachtree is not a nice little flat course.
Isn't?
No.
And the weather's supposed to be a little crazy.
It's gonna be really hot.
Right.
But I have an earlier wave than last year, so it won't be as hot, but it will get hot by the time.
It's kind of crazy how much people really want to run this race.
It's like a big cultural thing here in Atlanta, and Atlanta has deemed itself Run Town USA or something like that, just because we have a Atlanta track.
Do you think
club.
a lot of people do it for the gram?
I think people do it for the gram. I think people do it for the camaraderie. It's something fun to do on to kick off your 4th of July. Mm-hmm. It's just a big cultural event here, and you end up in Piedmont Park, and it's its 50th year.
And then you drink afterwards, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I will be walking my ass home, showering, probably taking a quick little nap.
Okay.
Because we
gotta get to the pool.
I know, but I'll get home around 10 a.m.
Okay. Wow, it's
if not earlier.
What time does the race start?
Well, my wave starts at 7:30.
Holy cow!
So
good luck. I'll be sleeping.
Yeah, if I finish within an hour, which I should, or with right around an hour, I should be.
Do you stop or do you
I usually stop. Well, especially if it's gonna be hot, each mile marker has water, so I usually walk through the water, drink my water. So that takes going. Maybe a minute and then keep going.
Interesting. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
What did you get into this past weekend?
Oh, I was back home in Naperville, right outside of Chicago.
Okay.
With my fam, celebrating and setting up and partially hosting my brother Jack's high school graduation party.
Shout out to Fat Jack.
Fat Jack. Poor Jack.
He's not fat anymore. He thinned out in 1 year. That was weird. Veronica posted this IG story. I always just call them snaps, but she posted a snap of for the party you guys threw. You had a picture every year.
Yeah, we had all of his school pictures. My mom put them all up in
a little Pinterest little pin.
Yeah, my mom is super cute that way. So
yeah.
She did that. And it's funny because even his beginning photo is he's a baby.
What was the description of the snap though?
It was how did my brother go from Gerber baby model to serial killer because he starts off like with his baby picture with him, his arms up, like it's
To
like
serial
posing.
killer. He does kind of
And
look like
like
a
and it's like so weird because my brother's such a cute kid. He's 18, like about to be 18, whatever. And like when it comes to photos, he doesn't know how to smile. And I'm like, you just have to laugh a little, bud. Like open your
Right.
mouth a little. Like it's not hard. Like just do it.
I actually feel weird about smiling too in pictures because I don't know what the right picture for me is because I feel like I get real squinty.
I know, me too, but I think it's cute.
And I guess I don't know. People are really good at smiling. Like I'm just not.
I just think
I think in real life I am. In pictures I'm not. I
yeah,
always feel
but like so it gets to the end and like his like senior year photo. It's just like he doesn't even attempt to like because the last like 5 he has closed mouth pretty much, but he doesn't even attempt to like upturn the corners of his mouth. It's just like this straight scary fucking face. Like his brows are even kind of furrowed a bit. But there's a funny picture that like we all pass around because like it's a thing it's a like running joke in our family that there's this one year like all my brothers kind of are like this except my brother Frank because he's perfect.
Yeah.
But like they all kind of get like thicker until they get their growth spurt and then like kind of like it spreads out. And so there's this picture of Jack like he literally looks like he ate a former one of himself. he's just like chunky.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because then like literally within a year's time he's like bloop all
yeah,
fine.
no, it was crazy.
It's
It was
like
like
a
two
taffy
different
pull,
people.
yeah.
I was like, whoa, he really grew. I think I wrote that to you. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, your brother went from fat to skinny in like a year.
Yeah, now he's just like buff. He's like
That's what's up.
He's, like,
Well, cool.
real muscular.
I just went bowling and I went to the
I
pool
saw that
and
you
stuff.
went bowling
yeah.
with Chef John.
I'm very bad at bowling.
I
love it though.
bowling.
I love bowling,
We
but
should go
I'm very
bowling
bad
sometime.
at it.
Like
Let's
I'm
do it.
kind of decent at it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I used to work in a bowling alley. I
Oh.
grew up. Or like
I grew up in a
bowling alley.
Wow.
Deep cut.
Wow.
Deep cut.
Only the real fans would know. But yeah, so before we get into anything else, why don't we shout out to everybody on YouTube, shout out to
tubes.
everybody listening to us on whatever podcast app you're listening to. Really appreciate it. This week has been actually Taylor Marie's episode last week was one of our highest latest episodes and stuff.
People love guests.
Right.
Which is like, do they hate us?
No, they don't hate us, but I do honestly think that it adds like a little extra like, difference every episode,
Well, and plus like, we have to also like think about the numbers game.
And speaking about guests, I'm pretty excited about our episode 69.
Me too. I already have a frame in my mind of how that conversation. How I want to frame some questions.
We'll just like preface it with my trainer, Caleb. He has his wife, Melissa. And
I don't think we even want to preface it. I think we want to just like let
they're
it
gonna be
lie.
coming. They're gonna be coming on the episode. I feel like we could do a little teasing to get them to episode 69, right? A little bit. They have like a very interesting marriage, and
we're gonna
learn
a little bit about it.
We're gonna dive right into it on episode 69. I think it would be an appropriate episode to have those guests there. I'm really excited about it. Both of them are really awesome. Actually, Caleb was gone this weekend, so I got to know Melissa a little bit. Caleb works at this bar called Little Spirit with Ebony, and we go there like all the time. So everyone's always there and stuff. So I got to know her a little bit. Asked her if she'd want to be on the show. They both made time for it. So on 2 weeks from now on 69, we're gonna have a really interesting conversation with some awesome people. So I think you guys are gonna really be into this one. So stay tuned. But with that being said, did you get into anything else this last week that is important?
No, we played some games.
Oh yeah, talk about game night.
So the company.
Yeah.
Some folks at the company host a little game night every month, and we went and we played like a really fun like Hamilton
Very
game.
appropriate for the week and the holiday.
Yes, yeah, where it's like Federalists versus Democratic Republicans, and it's kind of like Mafia, kind of like Secret Hitler, which I've never played before, but I guess
everybody knows about Secret Hitler. I haven't played it. But
I've never played it before, but I've like heard about it, but I've never played it.
It was a fun game though, regardless.
It was fun, I
shout
just
out to
love
Monica for
games.
hosting that and
Yeah.
actually like going and she printed out all that stuff, that
I
whole
know.
game and stuff. So shout out to her.
And just like setting it up. She's always the best.
And the
little
crew,
host.
you know what I'm saying? We had who do we have there? We had
Rebecca,
Kaylin, we
we
had
had
Rebecca,
Caitlin,
we had
we had
Shelby,
Shelby,
Asia,
me,
Monica,
you.
It was me and a bunch of girls. It was awesome. I
sounds
love game
about
night.
right. Sounds
But except for the fact that it, like when we're playing a political game, it was like the roles were reversed. It was just a world ran by women. I had no voice, and no one wanted me to be president. Well, everyone thought I was a Federalist, but you guys and your Republican Democrats. But if you haven't played the game, it makes a lot more sense. I'm not big on politics, so it took me a little bit to catch up. But it was a fun game. So
it was a lot of fun. You know, guys, do more game nights.
Game nights are amazing.
Game nights are fun. There's so many good party games out there.
Yeah, we weren't even drinking. That was cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess
we
might
gotta
as well
catch a flight.
We got a flight to catch. Got quick hits. Oh man, I'm so happy to have. I'm not gonna lie though, we did pretty good without the sound effects last week.
I was re-listening back, and I was like, "Damn, we did pretty well for like our slapper of the week."
Yeah, and TM was coming in with like helping us out with sound effects.
Yeah,
it's cool to know like that people like our sound effects and know what like when they're appropriate when we're talking and stuff. So, but what do we got for some quick hits, V?
So
we got a lot of quick hits.
This is our new, Lil Nas X updates.
Yes,
we love him,
dude. He keeps coming with the news. He keeps coming with good news.
Honestly, he's great. And he's from Atlanta, and he's amazing. And he, publicly on the internet came out as gay on the last day of Pride Month. So
was that a surprise to you?
No.
Okay. Because I thought he was gay. I didn't.
I think I knew. I feel like I knew from something else. And
it was like a rumor that he had like this like Nicki Minaj like fan account before he became famous. And stuff. And that's what I was like, wait a second.
That's a real thing. Like he's a like that's what even like people were saying on the internet. They're like, homie started as like a stan account and like a meme maker and everything like that. Like he started like, how did people not? And now all these people are freaking, because like people are freaking out. It's kind of funny because I feel like my younger brother Jack actually used.
Are people freaking out?
Some people are. I mean, like people like
the jokes are not that funny. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing to freak out about. Like
I mean, it's like 2019. Like, oh my God, a black man who's gay. But like, I mean, within like the black community, like LGBTQ stuff is still like stigmatized everywhere, but like especially
like people like Frank Ocean have like done like cool things of coming out and just kind of being themselves. And I honestly, it's really easy to make jokes, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I heard the jokes where it's like, oh, so he wasn't riding a horse in the back, you know what I'm saying? Jesus. All those type of things. I'm just like, come on, this is not even original.
And like the thing is, like, he was he is like the most wholesome troll there is. Like he was trolling everybody. Like he loves it. Like,
I saw like that one emoji where he had the cowboy emoji with the gun. He's like, the next person who talks shit is gonna get kissed on the mouth.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, get it, Lil Nas.
Yeah, shout out to you, man.
Honestly, he's great.
That's awesome, man. I'm always it's always cool to see people just live their truths, just like be themselves. They don't have to hide.
The cover art for his EP, he's like, I thought it was obvious because like the cityscape that is in the EP like cover art, it's like him on a horse looking at a cityscape, and it's all rainbow colored.
Really? Hell yeah.
He's like,
the album's called Closure with like the 7 as like an upside down L. So shout out to him, man. What else we got?
So he also, he hit up Gordon Ramsay, known chef and restaurateur and everything.
Yeah, I just saw that picture.
And he hit him up because they were both in London at the same time, and he's like, teach me how to make a panini. Based on his hit song, Panini.
That's awesome. Dude, this guy's crazy, dude.
He's great. And he literally, like, I think it was like yesterday or today that he literally went and made a panini with Gordon Ramsay.
That's amazing.
Like, he's just, and like, I think other people from like, like Food Network kind of stars, like Guy Fieri and like other people like that were like commenting, being like, oh man, we got a collab, and like,
hell yeah. Well, that's like, dude, so that's like,
hilarious.
He's doing some crazy collaborations that are just like,
he's
breaking boundaries.
He's like, what is, he's like, I was listening to the radio and they were saying, or no, a different podcast, and they were saying something which I thought really resonated with me. Like, he's like, he's firmly Gen Z because he's 20, and he's like kind of like very much so bringing forth like the idea of like Gen Z is very much so like, what is genre, what is gender, what is boxes. Like, they're kind of like, he's just very much so like rolling with this whole like, I'm gonna just bring people together. Like, it might, like, I'm like doing country trap. I'm like,
there hasn't been an ounce of hate on him. He's always dancing and smiling and just giving back, and he's everywhere.
Yeah,
like,
just
he posts like a regular
joy.
Person.
Like, he's just like a, he's just doing.
How do you hate on that? Lil Nas X. What else we got?
So we had brought this up on the podcast like months and months ago that Cardi B was trying to get her trademarked, but it got denied.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Well, she self-proclaimed saying that she got it from like Khloe Kardashian. That was like the first time someone ever said it. So Khloe Kardashian actually came up with and somebody else might have came up with it before her. But
I mean, yeah,
like,
I'm sure
that's
Khloe
where
stole it
Cardi
from
heard
another black girl.
Probably.
Like, let's be real.
But yeah, that's where Cardi says she got it from. That's where a lot of people heard it first, but she just made it popular.
I mean, yeah,
so
I definitely heard it.
It's a hard thing to get trademarked. And how do you even like? Is even trademarking it like the right thing to do? But
or patent,
right?
I think either that, but either or, it doesn't seem really. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's kind of weird. Trademark would make more sense for a phrase than a patent.
What else we got? Let's keep going.
So Chancey, he released all of his old music, like acid rap, like all that stuff, onto all the streaming platforms, and he's like making them as vinyls, which is super awesome.
Yeah.
I was excited by that because I definitely wanted an easier way for me to listen to all the Chance stuff instead of asking my brothers to Dropbox it to me. So that's great. As we know, last weekend was the wedding weekend in Paris for Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas, but it was also Zoe Kravitz.
She is so beautiful.
She's beautiful, and I love her dad even more.
Lenny Kravitz is a legend.
Hottie.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy too because like he's like he doesn't change. It looks like he stays the same looking.
Don't crack.
But it's like crazy that his daughter like looks like it could be like his girlfriend or something like that.
Wild. Honestly, but yeah, it was also her wedding weekend, so it was kind of funny seeing all the photos being like, who's in town for what wedding?
Right. I don't know. I mean, I honestly think it's kind of. Hold on. So who's she getting married to?
I totally forget. Honestly, I care more about the Joe Jonas Sophie Turner wedding. I don't like. Ugh. Yes.
I had to.
You know who also loves Lenny Kravitz?
Who?
Claudia DeStefano, my mother.
What up, Claude? This one goes out to Mama DeStefano.
Do you remember when there was like the video of him splitting his leather pants?
I don't know. He wears some tight pants.
Yeah, and he wasn't wearing any underwear. My mom made sure to find that
Goodness
video.
gracious. Mama. But,
anywho.
Yeah, what else we got?
Speaking of, we talked about collabs earlier.
Yep.
Jenny's Ice Cream, which is one of my favorite ice creams.
I've never heard of it, actually.
There's 2 locations here in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
One in West Midtown.
Okay.
One over at Crack Street Market. Delicious. Started by a woman from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
She's great. They did a flavor collab with Tyler, the Creator. His flavor is called Snowflake, and it's kind of under he has like a lifestyle / like label called Golf de Fleur, and it's like kind of like he does I think he does like some clothing and different stuff.
Well, I mean, so the crazy part about like Tyler the Creator, he's all right, if you guys don't know who he is, he's the rapper who beat out DJ Khaled for the #1 album when he dropped.
Yeah, when he dropped.
That's what DJ Khaled was freaking out about a couple weeks ago. But Tyler the Creator was like the pseudo leader of Odd Future, Wolfgang Kill 'Em All. So Odd Future has acts like the Internet. They have Frank the Ocean came from Odd Future. So if you like reverse like the initials of Odd Future, Wolfgang, or you like kind of like that's where Golf Wang came from.
Golf Wang.
So and that's his clothing line, and so there's always like some weird flip of like the
which
initials.
I love it. He's it's
Future.
just a funny collab because like Jenny was like, Jenny's like this really wholesome, super sweet like mom.
Yeah.
Now who like has been in the ice cream business for years, and like she's like, I met Tyler Creator at some sort of event, and we both like love the idea of like flavors and art and whatever, and so like his flavor is called Snowflake. It's a really like it looks super good. It's like a mint with white chocolate swirl,
and that's like his color palette he usually dresses in.
It's like this really minty white.
He's always in like some greens.
It looks beautiful, honestly, and it looks really tasty. Like just how Jenny creates her ice cream is unreal. So I'm gonna go have to buy it.
Yeah. All right. What do we got? Some T Swift news here. There's a lot going on.
Well, I say we're gonna get back to T Swift later. Let's go to
Did you see that Jumanji trailer yet?
I actually haven't, which is like
gosh.
Isn't that like an assault to my character?
Well, there's a very split second where Nick Jonas is in it, but we bring all the main players back in there, the characters that turn into the other characters. Well, I'm talking about even like it's a direct sequel to the last movie.
Yeah.
So the same people are there, but they've introduced 2 new like actors in the movie, and it's Danny DeVito and Danny Glover, and not to be confused with Donald Glover.
No,
Danny Glover
from
Lethal Weapon. I'm too old for this shit. that Danny Glover.
Yeah.
If you ever seen Angels in the Outfield, he was the coach of that movie and stuff.
Good.
So yeah. Pretty much instead of like the same characters, you know how like when they go into the game, the girl goes into the hot girl goes into Jack Black. You know, the black guy goes into Kevin Hart, and then the other guy goes into The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, now when they get sucked back into the game, they have to go find their friend who got sucked in first, and then so Danny DeVito and Danny Glover both get sucked into the game as well. So Danny DeVito, guess who he is?
Who?
The Rock.
No!
I swear, dude. Danny DeVito is The Rock, and Danny Glover
up.
is Kevin Hart.
Oh my
so
God.
it's pretty funny, and I think the black guy goes into I think he goes into Jack Black, and then like or something like that, something crazy.
God.
But they like mix up the character players now and stuff. So it's funny
So
that Danny.
someone else, Nick Jonas, or do we not know?
I think. Well, I don't know because Nick Jonas played like
He was that older guy.
Yeah, I've heard,
He was the like guy who originally went into the
yeah,
game.
it's in real life it's Tom Hanks' son. But
Yeah.
so it'll be interesting to see like what happens and stuff in this version of the movie. But it's just funny to see that they made Danny DeVito turn into The Rock in this
That's
movie.
hilarious.
It's amazing. So so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You've been seeing this bottle cap challenge hitting the internet like in
Yeah.
all different ways now.
Literally.
Yeah.
So like I think it mostly
The first one I saw was Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but he got it from John Mayer. So like someone had like
John Mayer was the first one?
Someone had like I think sort of like promoted. You know, John Mayer's like big on the Instagram now and does weird shit. And I think someone had like been like, "Oh, I doubt you could do this kind of thing to him,"
Yeah.
like and kind of nominated him to do it. But he's like the reason why it's blown up. So he did it, and then nominated Jason Statham to do it.
Wow.
And then like so now there's all these people like doing like karate kicks.
It's a roundhouse kick and kicking
and
off a bottle
kicking
cap.
off bottle
Where do
cap, which
people
is like,
find
which
this
I'm
stuff?
like, I literally am like, can I do this? Is this something I could do? If John Mayer can do a roundhouse kick, can I?
John Mayer has all day to try and then
True, I
film it
don't.
and then take the one take where he actually gets it. That's what
I
everyone
think Jason
does.
Statham probably got in like 2 takes.
Jason Statham looked like he was gonna like shatter that.
He looked like he was
plastic
gonna
bottle.
kill me. Like the way it spun, like the way it spun on the thing and like popped off like a little like if girls you might know this, but like the little fly fairies where they would spin and they just go straight up.
Right.
You pull their string.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy though.
It's weird. It's just like, but
I've seen ones where it was like some guy kicking off like a weed jar. It just pulls out a nug afterwards. There's like so many different versions of it now, but
I love it.
But yeah, so that's been going around the internet.
Stays going.
Well, that's a win for the internet, but what's a loss for the internet?
So today, July 3rd.
Yes.
While
and
we're recording
it's still
this.
going on.
It's still going on because I haven't been able to post our Future Bachelor post.
Yeah.
We always we sound like such bitches whenever we complain. We're like, Instagram's down.
Well, when it goes down, it really makes me feel like how dependent the world is on these 3 apps: Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Like and WhatsApp comes in like internationally. Like internationally, they use WhatsApp all the time.
Yeah, because
and that's owned by Facebook, just like Instagram.
It's an easy way to communicate. Like,
so when one server is down, they're all down. And I don't know. Like, to be honest, I have this is like conspiracy theory, but this is just me like thinking like, a little crazy, but I feel like Facebook has so much power that if there was something going on in the world right now that they wanted to not get out there as much, all they had to do was slow down their servers on Facebook and stuff for a couple hours, and everyone's just freaking out about not posting. Not even. It's just like something could happen around the world and no one could post about it because the servers are down.
Yeah.
So if there was an event happening, like, or something happening in secret, just because Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff is down, it wouldn't be able to get shared worldwide. And I don't know. I have this theory that there might be something to do with like, them hiding things, like, yeah, I don't know. That's just my thing. But
interesting.
What's really interesting is like how much we don't have to do when Facebook and Instagram is down, right?
Yeah.
Like businesses, not just us, like as in posting and all that stuff.
Us, or like we work for a media-based company.
Right.
So
all day long, people are at work. Like, I don't know where to follow up on the information. We can't reach out to them on Facebook. Like I can't share this. Like it's like businesses like go ham and like and even the consumer, the person, like a person, there's like, what are we gonna do? Go outside, I guess. Like what I'm saying. At least I have a podcast to record right now. But like besides that, before you came over, I was like, I guess I'll just start cleaning my place
I
and
know my
getting it
friend
ready.
David was like, yeah, I've actually had to like, cause he was like sending us different memes and stuff on Instagram. But
I wash dishes.
Like stuff. He's all like, yeah, like this whole like Instagram slowdown has been making me actually have to like go through my email.
Yeah, right. And you're like setting up rules in there, so like emails go to certain folders, and your job is like right around social media. So people must have been freaking out today, right?
People were freaking out, and I'm like, there's nothing else I can do.
Right. So
the ticket is in.
I mean, what do you suggest to people on days that this might happen? And I feel like they always happen on podcast days too.
They do.
It's kind of crazy.
I mean,
on a Wednesday, right in the middle of the week.
Me suggest, I don't know, like
right before July 4th.
Use this time to like, instead of like being so dependent on your phone, like, I don't know, read a fucking book.
Well, all right. Well, think about like another theory. What if Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp do this the day before one of the biggest holidays where everybody's going to be on Facebook, just so they're on social media even more the next day?
Ooh.
Right?
I was kind of thinking about that.
And then all the ads that they're selling, all the stuff.
Well, yeah, because there's so many holiday-based
everyone's
like,
going to be catching
promos
up, promoting.
and stuff. Like, yeah, because that's even like issues that are happening like with the company because like people had different like holiday-based campaigns that they're trying to run. And
right, like countdowns and all this different stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I can't even run them.
So yeah, man. I mean, just like and like look into it. Yeah, right. Interesting.
Anyways,
speaking of nothing, Disney's live-action Little Mermaid. I'm getting ready for The Lion King, but they're already hitting us with another live-action.
And some more.
What do we have left? We have Mulan. We have Pocahontas.
Yeah, they're gonna do Mulan.
You think they'll do like Bambi or something? They already did Dumbo.
Belle. They already did Cinderella.
Yeah. Snow White. They've done that a couple times, but I don't know if they did it like this.
No.
But regardless, let's talk about it. Did you see about this or should I talk about it?
So like you talk about it, but Halle Bailey.
Yeah, she's a singer.
Part of Chloe and Halle, which they like were kind of discovered / proteges of Beyonce.
Okay.
So
she's beautiful.
They're very pretty girls. Their acting has been recently in Grownish, which is the spinoff of Blackish that stars Yahira Rashidi. I can't even yes. And so, like, they have a little bit of acting chops under them. But this is an interesting take for Little Mermaid, which is portrayed typically as a white, red-haired, crazy red mermaid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they still put the red hair on her because they're doing that to Zendaya on the new Spider-Man with Mary Jane.
That's some, like, throwback Rihanna vibes, too.
Right, yeah. right. I think they picked her based off of like her look. Whoa, that's a first.
Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah. The phone's never rang before like that. On my phone has, but yours hasn't.
No,
but,
I thought it was off too. It must have flipped on.
But yeah, no, I think it's kind of crazy because like first of all, she's so beautiful, African American. And I think she was picked off of how beautiful her voice is because Ariel,
that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's her voice.
Ursula wants to steal her voice.
They saying, yeah. Wow, you have a pretty voice too. They should have picked you for Little Mermaid.
Shut up.
But
get the fuck out.
Yeah. But anyways, but no, they are thinking of picking Melissa McCarthy as Ursula.
Oh, and there's already some backlash kind of around that because like technically Ursula was based on a drag queen.
Interesting.
So they're like, why?
Well, I heard that Ariel, you know what
queen?
actress Ariel was actually based off of?
Oh, what's her fetch? I actually knew this. Who
Alyssa Milano.
Yes.
Yeah. So they based her look off of Alyssa Milano because she was big back in the day for Who's the Boss with Tony Danza. Yeah, because
this movie came out, and that movie came out in like 1998.
Mm-hmm. So, and then there's also other people attached to it. I think like Awkwafina's in it and stuff. Is going to be cast in it. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. So yeah, so that's going to be interesting. I'm very excited to see that. I still haven't seen Aladdin. Yesterday is out. I need to get to the movies.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of these?
I actually haven't. So.
Damn.
And I still need to see the new Spider-Man. I have to see a lot
there's so much good movies right now.
I know. It's summer.
It's rare. Yeah, you're right. It's summer. Yeah, summer comes with the hottest movies. So
the summer blockbusters.
Yep. Let's talk about Kim Kardashian.
So Kimmy.
Oh, well, hold on. Before we get into that, let's talk about a little Toy Story.
I guess, yeah.
Here.
So you
movies.
talk about it.
Well,
about Disney.
I haven't seen Toy Story 4 yet. I thought you
neither.
might have seen it, but
I haven't.
huge movie. Everybody's loving it. They're re-releasing. They're re-releasing the old Toy Stories, but they're taking out did you hear about them taking out like one of the scenes and stuff? It was like a casting couch scene in Toy Story 2 that they're slowly like removing. It didn't age well. There was like an old Toy Story joke that didn't age well.
Ooh, I think I know exactly what part you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like the little cowboy talking to like the two Barbies or something like that.
Yeah, and they're like, meow.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't want that.
Right.
Especially in the Me Too kind of time.
Right. So they're like slowly releasing it, but apparently in the new movie, they spoiler alert, Woody has a last name, and it kind of
that isn't like the cowboy.
No, it's weird that they have a last name.
Megan Thee Stallion.
But they or somebody said that his last name is actually Pride, so it's Woody Pride, and people are like freaking out. Well, I mean it's a Pride Month and stuff. So maybe they just like
Pride
put that
forever, baby.
Right, but I think they did that because of timing. But regardless, that's something that happened with the movie. Speaking of Kim Kardashian, did we talk about
We talked about this before, like when she first was getting backlash, when she's gonna release a shapewear line, so like different sort of underwear solution wear, like slimming things, and she was gonna call it kimono, which honestly doesn't make sense as a name for a shapewear line, which I've said this before on the podcast. That deja vu just hit.
Right.
But
they thought it was so genius.
Yeah, I don't. But it's like just Japanese kind of cultural appropriation because it's directly taking a name from a very ceremonial.
Right, but she just likes it because it has her name
in it.
Yeah.
But it also just doesn't make sense.
Right.
But so like good try on the pun, Kimmy. So like she finally came out being like,
Kim, oh no.
Like
yeah, we did talk about this.
Yeah, she finally came out being all like, being an entrepreneur is like the greatest challenge I've ever blah 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 blah. I've learned so much blah 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 blah. I'll keep in touch with what our new name
Yeah, so she's renaming it.
But like we don't know what it is. So hopefully just I don't know, Kim, call it like just KKW wear or something, like KKW wear with the W being the wear. Come on, girl. If I could come up with that in 2 seconds, you could do better.
It's kind of crazy that that just shows you how much diversity is inside of her
if
team
nobody
making
stopped,
choices.
if nobody was like,
you don't think
maybe
come on. Yeah.
Kim, are we sure? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think we're at the point where we can talk about this Taylor Swift stuff. So introduce a little bit.
Yeah. So Taylor Swift, this has like been a messy week. So it all started.
And it's all like the biggest stars are involved.
It all started when there was a deal announced that Scooter Braun was buying.
Well, hold on. Rewind a little bit. We talked about in past episodes about Taylor Swift leaving Big Machine label.
Big Machine Records. She was signed by them originally when she was 15, left them after 10 plus years or so.
I think she was just trying to leave her country roots with them.
Yeah.
They're no more as like country.
They are. They're based in Nashville. I've been to I've met Scott Borchetta. But he
weird flex.
So she left them, went to Republic Records. She whatever. So really trying to differentiate her sound to kind of break away from her younger stuff.
Yep.
Scooter Braun, who we've talked about, well-known.
He manages Demi Lovato, found Justin Bieber, and manages Ariana Grande.
He used to manage Kanye.
Yeah, all these people.
Which will come
all the biggest people.
All the biggest people. He obtained Big Machine Records. So now this means because when Taylor Swift left Big Machine Records, part of the deal was if she was either going to leave or she was going to stay and be able to keep the master, have the masters to her previous albums.
And I heard I had read somewhere where it was Big Machine had offered her for every album that she would make with them moving forward, she would get an album back.
She would obtain the masters. Exactly. She would obtain the masters of an album back. So she would have to release 6 more with them.
But would she be able to keep the 6 that she kept creating?
Yes. The whole deal is that she would be moving forward with those.
Yeah. And it's kind of just a retention type deal, where you will get what you want, but this is gonna require you to work with us to put out more albums to grow our business.
For those who don't really understand, masters are it's the rights to that music. So now, because she didn't take that deal and she moved on with Republic Records, which means anything that's come out under them, so like Reputation.
Is 1989?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not that. No, I don't think so. I'm
That's
pretty sure
crazy.
that's Big Machine still. So anything under them, she has the masters or retains the rights. But so Scooter Braun now has the rights to all of her previous work.
Yeah.
Which like she has huge issues with Scooter Braun because of his former connection to Kanye and how he treated that whole situation when they had their big feud in 2016.
Yeah.
Where they like released the video, the video of the recording of the call of like
Kim Kardashian.
yeah,
like,
Kim, like
yeah.
and, like all of them.
Kim like put out a record. She recorded Taylor Swift like giving permission to Kanye about that video that
The
they,
video, well, the line in the song saying like.
Well, I guess it wasn't the
Taylor-
video then. It was
It was the line in the song
Okay.
saying like she'd like still have sex kind
Yeah.
of situation. And then she, then there was the whole video where she's like naked and
well, it's like wax.
it's
but-
a wax mannequin, but it's her naked, and she called it revenge porn kind of situation. So
what do you think about that?
um
Is that revenge porn?
that's kind of tricky for me. 'Cause
Revenge porn is like if you sent like a titty picture, a dick pic to like your significant other, you guys break up, and then they like post it online just to like get back at you.
Yeah.
Because you are dating somebody else or something.
Yeah.
Like revenge porn.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that would be considered.
I don't know if
revenge
it's like
porn.
exact. It's like it's,
Because he
I
was
think it's
naked
like-
in it too,
I feel
right?
like it's revenge porn adjacent. I don't think it's fully revenge porn. I think it's. I mean, it's obviously like using a likeness of her naked
Mm-hmm.
against her consent, supposedly. So like that in general is not good. But like I don't think it's like exactly.
Wouldn't be considered art.
It could be. It
Okay.
could be. But yeah, but
Okay.
that doesn't really take into account.
So that's a little bit of
But
history.
so there's that, and like so she started posting all this shit on Tumblr, like this is the worst day of my life, like Scooter Braun owns this and that, like this could
well,
be the
first
worst.
of all, who uses Tumblr anymore?
Her. I
What the
guess.
hell?
Her fans are like heavy on Tumblr and stuff still too. So like
What is Tumblr? Like I haven't been on Tumblr in like 5 years.
I never was a big Tumblr person. I have friends that still go on Tumblr for like specific
But
things.
why
very
Tumblr?
niche-
Like I
very
don't understand.
niche
Like why
things.
can't you just like put out a statement on your website and share that link?
Yeah,
What the
or
hell
like
is Tumblr?
put out a statement with like media. Like I don't know.
Right, like just an IG story. Like why do you need a Tumblr?
Yeah, and
That's
so
weird.
she did it there, and there was a lot of like backlash coming from Scott Borgetta and like Scooter Braun's camp being all like, because she was making it sound like, she knew nothing about anything that was going to happen. She's like, when the world learned, I learned, and all this kind of stuff. And like, even like Scooter Braun's wife was like, your dad sat on the board of this and that, like, he was a contributor.
They had like emails, receipts.
There's different stuff. Like there's these.
We
texts.
offered you all this
Here's your
stuff.
text, like with your response. Like, she made it very clear. Like she wanted to move forward. Like she wanted to. Like she cared more about her future records more than the idea of being under Scott's camp and Big Machine, because she knew he would sell it. Like if she took the deal, she knew he was selling it, Big Machine, anyways, and she didn't want to like worry about who would be obtaining that.
That's her problem.
And like, so that was her whole thing, is like, so she had said like, you know what, like my masters are super important to me, but my future music is more important. And so like that's like even what the receipt said. And so she's like, there's just like a lot of like different like miscommunications or different things where like she's trying to act like shouldn't even have a chance to get them or whatever. It's like I understand her being upset, being like, I'm losing the rights to my music to somebody who was part of like a group who kind of bullied me. Like Scooter and Kanye like used social media to like kind of make fun of the whole feud in 2016.
I wonder how
or
much
whatever.
this deal is.
It has to be a shit ton of money.
I mean, just think about like why would you want to sell it? And if you did, it must have been for so much money. And then the person that wants to buy it knows it's even worth more money.
Yeah.
Like 1989, if that's under Big Machine, like that's, and everything else before that is money forever.
I mean, yeah. And he has that. And yeah, it's like, I mean, I still listen to some old T Swift
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
Like, that's, that's good stuff. And people love that kind of shit.
So what happened after Taylor dropped the Tumblr?
Okay. So then different people started coming to different sides. So, like, Justin Bieber even posted something because, like, he had been part of, like, kind of the bullying with Scooter Braun. He posted something being like, no hate, Taylor. Like, I regret that post, like, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Demi's been, like, standing up for Scooter. She's like, I'm not trying to, like, come for Taylor or anything like that, but, like, I know it's Scooter, like, I'm here, like, Scooter's signed me kind of like as part of my new chapter, and that's all I can do.
Yeah.
And so, like, all these people are coming to different people's sides. I
mean, we're seeing backlash for Ed Sheeran. Like, people are like, why are you not saying something? Like, dude, why do people have to say something?
I know, because people
he responded by being like, I talked to her directly, like I always have. Like,
people were even making fake Instagram stories looking like to make it seem like Ariana Grande was saying something because, like, she's one of Scooter Braun's clients, trying to be like she was saying different shit, but it was faked. So it's, like, kind of weird. Yeah, people are, like, really, stan culture is so crazy that, like, people are, like, really, like, looking to all of, like, the major stans because Taylor Swift has surrounded herself, like, in the idea of, like, her different squads and whatever. Like, now it's all like,
well,
okay,
did you see the post from Scooter Braun's wife?
Yeah, she was kind of like, but you dump people left and right.
Like the whole world knows. Like, she breaking the fourth wall with it. She's like, come on. The whole world knows about how, like, finicky you are with your friends and stuff and how you drop people and blah, blah, blah. And the move by Taylor is not good, but sometimes the stands, like you're talking about, the Hive, like these type of things, like, they don't make the artist look even better. Like Beyonce's Hive is like the Beehive. Like, it's almost gotten out of control where, like, it makes her look bad, where she probably doesn't even like her Beehive. Like, I would be
no, she loves her Beehive, but
I mean, I would believe she would get to a point where she's like, I don't even want to be attached to these fucking psychopaths, like, because they're really psycho. Like, these fans,
I mean, all stans are psycho.
They're psycho. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Can't. It's like, I mean, obviously, like, when you get on, like, any group of people who then, like, are so passionate about like
someone who doesn't even, like, besides the music, like, they don't pay your bills, like, they don't like do anything for you besides the music, and if whatever you want to build that up to, like, oh my gosh, she changed my life, her words mean, like, all right, if you want to make it that, but literally Beyonce would not care about you. She wouldn't let you get, like, even 100 feet within her. So, like, like, so I don't know, man. This is really bad for Taylor, and it's not looking good unless she comes with this album and it's like there's, like, a lot more smashes than what we've already heard. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with her.
I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, so she ended her Tumblr post being all like, I'll never be.
The picture with it was kind of crazy. She was like, it was like a picture of, like,
it was like a FaceTime. That was, like, them, like, being all like, that was the post that Justin had originally posted being like, what up, Taylor? And it's, like, them all on a FaceTime as them, like, making fun of Taylor Swift for the whole 2016 feud.
Would you consider Taylor Swift a bully?
I think she can be manipulative. I think she can be considered, like, you know how there's, like, white collar crime? Mm-hmm. I feel like she could be, like, a white collar bully. Kind of in, like.
But a bully's a bully, right?
I feel like she could be at times. I feel like both sides are bullies. Like, I think
they call it, like, Regina George.
Kind of. I mean, like, she definitely knows what she's trying to do. Like, she has, like, a very good idea of, like, pathos, like, emotional thing, and, like, that's how her music is popular. So I'm sure, part of her can, she's, like, post this stuff being, like, sad and grossed out and being, like, whatever, like, but for a healthier version, like, I'll never be upset with my past work, but for a healthier version, Lover comes out August 23rd, which I was kind of like, okay, I get it. You want to promote, like, your music, but also, like, I don't know. It seems a little cheap to put it at the end of, like, what you were, like, supposed to be a very heartfelt note about.
She just got to come with the music, girl.
Yeah.
She just has to come with that music because, like, if she doesn't, like, this will all be just, like, oh, so sad. And I wonder what, like, Scooter Braun's going to do with Big Machine. Like, that's a cool, like, label. You know what I'm saying?
It's a big, I mean, and it's got.
And you can sign so much people.
It's got a lot of, like, kind of, like, country. I think Brett Young, he's a big country guy. There's a bunch of, like, country people, or even, like, kind of, like, cross-genre country folks that are on Big Machine that do pretty well.
They're saying right now artists that have been on Big Machine are Tim McGraw, Florida Georgia Line, Lady Antebellum, Thomas Rhett, Reba McEntire. Like,
so that means crazy. Some of those masters might even still be within that deal if you think about it.
Garth Brooks, Carly Rae Jepsen, Rascal Flatts, Ray Lynn, Brantley Gilbert, Justin Moore, Sugarland, Daniel Bradbury, Zach Brown Band. Oh my gosh! So you're saying like Scooter Braun just like
he could have sniped
owns all the biggest country artists? Eli Young Band, Cadillac 3.
Yeah, he could have sniped a lot of
Cheap
these.
Trick.
Yeah.
Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, Sheryl Crow. Wow.
She's a Missoula magazine.
That's insane. But yeah, so I mean, good for Scooter Braun, man. Like, I mean, the dude found one kid on YouTube, and now he's like one of the biggest managers on the planet.
Yeah. And he's a really hot wife too. So he's really pretty.
So there's that crazy debacle. Well, I mean, that was kind of like our main topic.
That was our main topic.
Did anything make you go yikes this week, Veronica?
Yeah,
like,
well,
what was the moment that made you go yikes? Like, you know, like something that made you.
I swear to fucking God, I can't. You made me go yikes right now. Oh no.
Yikes.
But actually, like, this just came to me because the whole Taylor Swift, Scooter Braun stuff is.
Well, let's get back into like the
hugely
holiday.
yikes.
Let's get
but
back.
But like
in.
the holiday, so Nike was putting out a show for like the holiday for 4th of July, America Blue. And it was supposed to have like on the heel cup, like on the back of the shoe, it was supposed to have a little flag, like the OG Betsy Ross flag. So like that has 13 stripes, 13 stars.
For the colonies before.
Retro.
Yeah.
But.
Yo, Nike's trying too hard.
The issue is white supremacist groups have been using that flag as like one of their flags to like promote like a time when slavery was around and the blacks were in their place.
Yeah.
Like and there was like even KKK.
The blacks were in their place.
The KKK was like handing out those kind of tiny flags at a rally recently.
Okay.
And things like that. And Colin Kaepernick, who is big in Nike, he had that really big commercial with them recently. I think it was around the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was their deal.
That he, like, you know, very much so emotional, like, you know, standing up for what's right. And, like, that's it. He was the one who kind of was like, hey, Nike.
No.
Maybe we shouldn't, like, sell shit that has, like, white supremacist ties to it. Like, that's kind of what you're trying to stay away from.
Right.
So they pulled out the shoes.
Good.
But yeah, so it's just kind of crazy because I mean, I understand where you could be like, oh, it's like
history.
It's throwback. But like my thing is like if we're throwing it all the way back to like 1775,
your knowledge always impresses me.
Well, because like I mean, okay, like 76 though, but this was like the colony, so this is like I mean, like kind of so 70 whatever. But I'm
not good at geometry, so.
Okay. But if we're throwing it back that far, like that shit's just not gonna translate. Like there's just no way. Like
yeah, like dude, you're gonna drop that shoe after When They See Us on Netflix? Come on, give me a break. Read the room, Nike. Read the room. Whoa! High five. Finally.
We brought it in.
Yeah, we've been wanting to use that as a fucking episode title for like almost a month now. So we did it, guys. And we might have a title for this episode. So that's awesome. Well, that's cool. Why don't we get into some Bachelorette news? We actually reunited this week to watch together. Yeah. Shout out to Veronica for grabbing me dinner because this has been it's going to be a weird 2 weeks because I've been like into working out and stuff on a consistent like schedule. I had the trainer, Caleb, I said earlier, but because of that I went and grabbed a boxing class after work and I was running late. You picked me up food. I love it when you bring me dinner. I love you, V. Maybe it's the Steel Reserve in me right now, but thank you. I appreciate it. What happened this week? It was a pretty interesting week on The Bachelorette.
Indeed. We're week 8. We're in the Netherlands. And, you know, it's the week before hometown, so Hannah has some decisions to make. Yeah. Good ones did she make? Probably not. No. I don't think so.
No, she even tweeted. She's like, my family's looking at me just like y'all are looking at me right now.
And I'm like, bitch, come on.
Yeah.
So it starts off with her first one-on-one date with Jed, which I honestly barely remember most of it because I think I was just seeing red because I can't take anything that comes out of Jed's mouth seriously, knowing that he's just a liar and a cheat.
Right. This goes all the way to the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like, I mean,
I don't want to spoil anything.
I don't want to spoil. I mean, like, I don't know, but like,
yeah, this is.
I mean, I think Jed has a long tail. I've been made to believe that Jed has a long tail in this game.
Right. And with that being said, like, this is like you have to look at it with that lens because by knowing that he had or he had gone into the show with a girlfriend, or breaking up with her, or like leaving her hanging while he went on a show, ghosting her when he got back and stuff like that. It's just bad for him, like, you know.
I know, and it's funny because, like, obviously they, they filmed and edited all this before that news came out.
Right.
And because I think it makes me believe how it's edited right now that he has a long tail, because he gets so much FaceTime. And
do you think though that they wouldn't know? Do you think they do this type of stuff for like the crazy endings now? Because, like, when was the last time anyone got engaged on this show? Like, it always ends with some kind of crazy, like, twisted drama. Like, where they have to, like, follow up. Like, the last episode is like that.
I feel like, for the last one,
Ari.
The whole Ari thing, then Colton and Cassie.
Yeah. Who was between them?
No, and then
Becca. And that one had, like, I mean, I guess
that one had, like, I mean, she's engaged to a racist, so
yeah,
good for her.
Right, so they're like letting these people sneak through, like, almost.
I don't know, man.
Whatever.
Anywho, so, like, whatever, he does what he can without a guitar, which isn't much, but she's head over heels for him. He gets a rose. He's going to hometowns. Can't wait.
Right.
Next one-on-one is with Tyler, who's honestly my favorite of this goddamn season. He just is, like, so sweet. He's so caring. He's funny. He seems like he gives a shit about her. He gives a shit about other shit.
And he's also, like, his lines are ridiculous, but that's kind of like me.
Like,
he reminds me of me.
But he's like funny, and he does it like out of like good humor. He's not like just feeding her lines to feed her lines. He's like saying funny shit.
He's a breath of fresh air.
Yes, I love him.
Right, I do too. He's a front runner for me.
He's great. He actually, speaking of running, he was in Atlanta this past weekend.
Really?
And he's doing something with like ABC. It's called like ABC Food Tours.
Okay.
And he's like going to city, doing different stuff in those cities. And like he did like a fun run. I think he like is doing fun runs in most cities. He did like a fun run right out. Literally, I could have been there, but I was in Chicago. So he did it like right outside Pond City Market, literally right down the Beltline from my apartment.
With a bunch of people?
Yeah, mostly women, obviously. Like, because he put it out on Instagram, and like, oh, meet me for a fun run.
All right, next time something like that happens, I hate running, but I think for the show, I should just like show up.
I know, but I didn't.
And for the girls.
Yeah, you could have, yeah. Well, because my brother Vince's girlfriend Tierney, she's all like, did you see how like Tyler's gonna be in Atlanta? And I was like, no, Tierney, I did not, because I would have loved to know this information.
Why do you guys talk like that to each other?
I was just,
making
but
voices.
anywhoozles. So yeah, their date, they just can't even control these horses that they're riding, and I feel bad for the horses. It's like animal abuse, whatever. And then also like
it was pretty funny.
Also, Tyler, they get some like herring, which is like some nasty ass, like I don't.
Oh, they're like deep throating fish or something.
Fish.
It was disgusting.
And like he really went balls deep on it. He like took off, like he bit off way more than he could chew, and he almost puked.
Yeah, that was
and
awesome.
I was like literally gagging.
She just
watching.
laughed the whole time. She just in the background like
giggling. It was just too much. But of course, he also gets the rose after she's like pushing him. This kind of bugged me because she's like, because he's like trying to open up a little bit. Like he has talked about in the past about like, how his dad almost died and just like how much like that impacted him and things and that. She's like, but no, like open up more. And he's like, what?
I think it's
what
producers,
else do you need me to
though.
do?
Like, it's producers. Probably the producers are like, this guy is acting too cool. He rarely says
too
stuff.
good.
It's not even too good. Like, he's just acting too cool. Like, if he wins and ends up winning, like, no one's going to even, like, care about him. Like, there's not much that we know about him, you know?
I feel like I know more.
Right. Well, I think like because of these episodes, like, they're prying into it, and they can be trained along the way to talk more. Like, look at Luke P. Like, hey, I need you to be, like, scream. Then now he's like screaming every episode.
Reason,
you know what I'm saying?
But like, I feel like I've seen Tyler's personality through like even how he interacts with like the guys and stuff, and I feel like for me as a viewer, that's important. Obviously, she doesn't get to see that, but well. Anywho,
their personalities don't really shine through to me because I feel like because they're on the show, they're just talking more shit. They wouldn't say this type of shit to each other in real life. I feel like.
But like, I don't know. I kind of like even like the stuff that like, because Tyler's always stood up for Hannah, even when she's not there. Just like with the whole stuff, when
he's got like a whole James Dean thing going on.
He's just great. I just love him.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then the card comes next for the next one-on-one, and Connor S is there, being all like, I need this one-on-one. My last one-on-one was shit because she was sick. She needs to get to know me better. And he doesn't get it. Mike gets it. So he's like, what the hell? So he goes, kind of sounds exactly how I said that. What the hell, man?
We knew when Mike got another one-on-one that he was going home.
I knew that. I could tell, which breaks my heart. But Connor first, before that even happens, goes to her room and like tries to convince her to keep him. And then she just is like, but I don't get to know you anymore. Like, I haven't known you. Like, you haven't stood out. And he's all like, I'm just trying. I'm like, it's hard, man. I'm trying out here. And she's like, you didn't try hard enough. Get out. And, like.
He goes home.
Tiniest hallway that he walked through. It was bizarre.
And the cameraman makes him walk slow.
You could tell the cameraman was like, I can't back up any faster through this tiniest.
Nah, they probably like, let's make this an awkward, slow walk out the hallway.
So she does her one-on-one with Mike. And it's so cute. He's so sweet. They're riding bikes. They're having a good time. They're doing some weird art shit with this weird Dutch artist.
That was weird.
And
his painting was probably better than hers. I was like, couldn't wait for it. Like, he was drawing Hannah, and I was like I can't wait to see what this draw's like. It was the most hideous.
It was so ridiculous. But she's like all sniffly and crying already. He like comes up in this glass elevator to meet her for dinner, and like she's like a mess.
The art.
And then, like...
This kid was like this woman with a Bible and a sword and a bunch of guys fighting in the background.
And
it
I
was
feel
so
like
beautiful.
that's me. And I cannot deal because she's comparing herself to, like, a saint. Like, an actual... Like, these are, like... these are, like...
Biblical figures.
Biblical painting.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you are not Saint Catherine. Calm down. What have you done?
She sends him home.
Yeah, so sad, but he definitely, the montage they showed of him, like, leaving and stuff, and, like, his, like, you know, him, like, crying in the limo and everything, I'm like, Bachelor campaign.
Do you think they could get away with another white Bachelor this next season without people being like, are you serious?
You do, like, you let poor Mike go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be interesting, though. Do you think he'd make for a good season of The Bachelor?
He just seems so nice.
Right, but do you think it would make for a good... I think he could carry it.
I think he could.
Yeah.
He just seems so smart, and he was like a good leader figure for the guys. Like, the guys definitely were upset when he left. Like, he just kind of was a good, like, a rock.
Right.
So then this leaves 3 guys left.
Who do we got?
Out for the last
3? I thought it was 4.
3 guys left to go on dates.
Oh, okay.
To battle it out for the last 2 roses.
Okay.
For hometown dates.
Right.
So we have Luke, Garrett, and Peter the pilot.
Yep.
So they go and like honestly, I have to be honest. These dates keep getting less and less like original. We like started so strong with like getting lobsters and a bungee jumping and like whatever. Like, but now most of the dates are just like we're gonna just sit around with the cheese plate and wine.
Right.
And I'm kind of like.
Well, because they know they're just gonna fight. They're just like expect them to sit
so like
around.
That's the activity. The date activity is them fighting.
Right.
Instead of them having.
Like, where was Hannah this whole time?
Like talking to Peter and then like already like being like, here's your rose, like get out while you can.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, see ya.
Yeah.
He's like, bye-bye. And then it left it to just Garrett and Luke where they had like a showdown, I guess would be a better word, where there's a lot of baloney flinging and a lot of baloney puns and a lot of standing over Garrett who's just
screaming.
And screaming like I have to get.
You're not gonna ruin this for me.
Yeah, I have to give.
You know what you are? You're a pile like this meat right here, baloney, and throws it on him.
It was great.
The most intense like stare down I've ever seen from anybody. Do you think he had been drinking?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Looked a little lit.
He looked lit.
Luke P was lit, but yeah, no, it was like really interesting because like as much as like Luke P sucks, like I hate Garrett. Like he's so annoying.
See, my thing is like Luke P goes into this date hot, being all like, I'm gonna tattle on Garrett, saying this and that, which like why?
You should have just stayed in your lane.
Stay in your lane, Mister. Like stay in my lane. Like
he promised he was going to.
And it's just like whatever. And like Garrett's just honestly, I know you get annoyed. Garrett is a messy bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. He's messy. He's admitted he's a petty Betty, but he doesn't lie, and he also doesn't have some stupid born again story about
him
finding God in the shower. Barely.
And he was like messing with him. He was like, "Oh, I told her something, and you're gonna regret it."
Well, I mean, it's not. But he's not lying to Hannah.
No, not lying to Hannah, but
Luke P is manipulative, and I just have no tolerance for him and his gaslighting and his slut shaming and whatever, and he's gonna get his just desserts so soon. I can feel it.
So she sends Garrett home, but in the previews for next week, it's obvious that Luke goes home next week, right?
Or yeah, I guess, or whenever the fantasy suites are, I think. So I think maybe not next week, but the week after when they do fantasy suites.
Right.
But I just can't wait. It's showing her like flipping him off, I think. So
yeah,
I'm just really excited because
because he like says something. Oh, it was fantasy suites because he was like,
well, like,
if you had
let's talk about
sex with any of these guys,
like
I'm gonna leave right now.
And she said like, fuck you. I definitely fucked someone. And also like, it's not like my husband would never say this to me. So you can like get the fuck out. So I'm just excited to see how that actually plays out and not just in like the little clip it from the preview. So.
Well, the post-scene credits were pretty good.
They were funny as fuck. There were some funny one-liners because even like when they were all, because when Garrett's luggage gets taken, or whoever's, who was
Luke
it?
P was like, I'll be happy if Mike's bag goes home or something like that.
Yeah, if Mike's bag goes home and it gets taken, like all of them are like, oh my god, blah blah blah.
He's like, but that's one less person here, guys. I see the sense he's trying to make, but everyone's like, why do you gotta say it?
Bitch. Like he's being a bitch, like because like Mike was such a good guy, like to literally and there's like no reason to like wish ill, and so like
unless you're Luke P.
And like then Tyler was just like, what's funny? The funniest thing about this all is like, there's always a villain. We have a villain, and villains are usually like big and bad, but like we have a 5'8" villain. And it's funny because like
so you're saying he's height shaming?
He was just like making.
No, he's height shaming.
I mean, it's just funny because like, even one of like my favorite like recaps that I always read about these, like they were doing the whole, which is like this is one of my favorite memes. It's like the whole like, am I do I like him or is he just tall? And she like was making that assertion. She's like, maybe like Hannah doesn't like him and he's just tall, and then she's like, never mind, she can't even like, he's not even tall, like
right.
he's shortest by heads of all the guys.
Do you think girls do that where just because the guy's tall they're just why?
I definitely know girls.
What's the tall thing?
I don't know. Some girls like love the idea of feeling like protected and like like a guy is like big and like can like do that. I don't really give a shit. I'm not very tall, so like I did date, though. Luke P reminds me a hell of a lot. I think that's why he's very triggering to me. He reminds me a hell of a lot of a guy who I went on 2 dates with in college, who was also a super born again Christian. Instead of having a tacky cross necklace like Luke does, he had a tacky huge cross tattoo with the date that he was born again. And like
yikes,
he was also short and he also was super into fitness and stuff, like acted the same exact way. It's really weird.
Yeah,
so
it's that little man syndrome.
It's weird, man.
But all right, well we'll have a lot to look forward to in the next couple episodes. I haven't been that like I like these episodes. I don't know. It's funny to me. I just sit there and laugh how awkward it is.
Oh, I love awkward.
Yeah. So I think it's been a good run for The Bachelorette. These last couple episodes of this season.
Hannah just drives me nuts.
Yeah, she's like she's kind of just like a filler in the background. But well, why don't we get into our slapper of the week? We went through a couple songs.
There's plenty of good ones.
Yeah, there was a bunch of good songs for slapper of the week, but. I really like this one. It's two of like my favorite artists. It's a very like easygoing song. It's not
and
like
also we noticed
mind blowing or anything, but
we also noticed that like it was perfectly blendable with our opening song.
Right. I was doing a little DJing before the show.
Perfect like bookends.
Right.
In my
so
book.
Our slapper of the week, without further ado, we'll just get right into it. Is Ed Sheeran featuring Khalid. Beautiful People. He just dropped it, so let's just drop it, man. Let's go.
Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
Yeah, slapper. Yeah, we are not beautiful. Yeah, Beautiful People by Ed Sheeran featuring Khalid. Slapper of the week.
Khalid's voice, just like he could rock me to sleep.
Right.
Just with his little voice.
I've been waiting for a Khalid Ed Sheeran collaboration.
I know they have good tones. Their tones are good.
Right, and two of my favorite artists right now. So, let's get into some shout outs. What do you got for some shout outs?
I wanted to shout out, first of all, my friend Leah Bosart. She
Leah!
She lives in Seattle.
Okay.
And she saw one of my stickers that I put there back in March.
What?
At a record store.
That's amazing.
So, and she sent me a picture of it. So, like, we are coast to coast.
Yo, we
baby.
are getting out there. It's kind of crazy.
And then I also wanted to shout out my she was my temporary roommate in my former childhood bedroom this past weekend. We call it the Airbnb now because my mom painted it over, so it's like not my bedroom anymore.
Okay.
And it's my brother Frank's girlfriend.
I got you out of there.
Yeah, they did. Amelie. So I wanted to shout her out.
Amelie?
Yeah, her name's Amelie.
That's a beautiful name.
And then I also wanted to shout out, because I just saw him when I was going to get my Peachtree number. We crossed paths. Jimmy.
Jimmy?
Jimmy Hicks.
I saw him put out a post on Facebook right before the outage, and he was looking for... Did he say he got one?
He got one.
Good for Jimmy. I love him, man.
I
He's
love
the
him
best.
too. He's going to probably get a good time because he's like a runner and I'm not. So
Good.
Good for him.
The crew out there running. Shout out to Sims too, because I'm sure. Is he going out there?
Oh, no, he's recovering.
Oh.
he's going to Hilton Head. He's like,
Good for him.
He literally was making fun of me. He's like, good luck running tomorrow. I'm like, but okay, pal.
Yeah, he gets a day off. That's cool. All right. Well, I got some shout
Yeah,
outs.
you do.
I wanted to shout out my mom. Marty, what's up?
It was her B-day.
It was her B-day. Last week, I should have probably shouted her last week,
Yeah,
but
what
I
the
mean,
hell?
it's
What
her
kind of
birthday.
son
No,
are
it's her
you?
birthday week. It was on Sunday, so I want to shout her out on her
She
birthday.
sent me a message about how she had a dream about me and the Jonas Brothers.
Wow. Why is my mom dreaming about you and the Jonas Brothers? Mom, why are you... What's up? Why? Anyways, I'm going to keep going with the birthday shout out. So shout out to Mama, I love you. Happy birthday. Shout out to Jordan. It's her birthday this week. I think we're gonna try to shoot the hooch on Sunday for her B-day.
Oh, fine.
I
Hopefully
hope
the weather holds up.
Yeah, I don't think it will, and I hope that's not a surprise. So don't listen, Jordan, if it is. And then another last but not least birthday shout out to my girl Trish. Trisha, happy birthday. She's the girlfriend of one of my best friend's brother. So shout out to also Falco Silva.
Oh, yeah. I was part of all that tagging that was happening.
Yeah.
A lot of different things was going on.
Yeah,
For, like
there's-
some barbecue winning. Who tagged me? Who tagged me being all like, as long as Veronica's in the suitcase? Who was that?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Because
That's
I
old
was like,
school.
who is this person?
Falco, maybe?
It might have
Oh, it
been-
was Falco.
Was
Yeah,
it
it was.
Falco?
Oh, when you were talking to shit about my shirt.
No.
That was no.
No,
Falco
I'm
was on that. That
yeah,
was,
but no, I'm talking about the barbecue thing where you tagged where people were the competition thing that JT tagged you and stuff.
Oh,
and then
I don't know how you guys
And then
that.
somebody tagged me. That's who I was asking. I have no idea because which I thought was hilarious. You were talking from 5 different Instagram accounts.
Yo, we got an army on Instagram. Yo, I got like 5 accounts.
I know.
You need some support? Let me go.
I know because
Like,
I was like, when? Because it was like
I'm talking to myself on there. Yeah, we deserve this. Yeah, you do.
It's like, wait a second.
We're trying to get a free barbecue
and then
dinner.
literally somebody, I have no idea.
Shout out to JT with the free
Someone was
barbecue
like,
dinner.
yeah, like, Sai, you gotta come. And then it was like, and then someone tagged me being like, as long as like you take Veroniconda in your carry-on luggage. And I was like, who is this?
That's funny. Well, yeah. So shout out to all those people. Yeah, guys. I guess this is it. This is it. This is it.
Happy Independence Day.
Happy 4th of July.
But remember, we're not free until we're all free.
Oh, wow. You're like Debbie Downer.
Stay educated.
Have you ever seen Debbie Downer on SNL? Yeah. It's so funny. It's like
I'm
every
sorry,
time
I'm
everyone's
not-
at Disney. It's actually that's a famous Lindsay Lohan
Yeah.
skit. But every time Debbie Downer would just like be like, you know how much trash is polluting the earth, and they'd just be like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, I love that one.
I forgot that was a
But
Debbie
I'm
Downer
just,
song.
I mean, like, have a safe holiday.
Right.
But like, remember, patriotism.
right.
It's like fine, but like capitalism is ruling our brains. It's fine.
But this show will just show you to be more open-minded, be more
Indeed.
accepting, and
just
learn more. Like,
educate,
why don't you
yeah.
like close your mouth a little bit and open your ears a little bit more?
Yeah.
you
For a
know?
second, I thought you were saying that to me, and I was about to hit you.
No,
across
I
the
wasn't
face.
looking at you. I was looking at my
I'm about to
computer.
say
I was
that.
like, make sure you close your mouth a little bit more and open your. I wasn't like making direct eye contact because I don't want the backhand again.
Bam.
Yeah.
Fatality.
But
Wow,
all right,
yeah,
guys.
you love having our sound effects.
I love them.
Anyways, that was
all right,
episode
guys. Well,
67.
yeah, catch us next week with episode 68, and
That
then
is how
69 is gonna be great.
It's getting here closer and closer.
Dude, it's gonna be a great episode. I can't wait.
I'm hyped.
I am very excited going into this weekend. Hopefully the weather holds up because a lot of my plans are like
really
tied
weather
up with the weather.
contingent. Yeah,
Right.
same.
So
Damn
we
it,
might be chilling by
Georgia.
the pool tomorrow. So we got a lot of
Hopefully.
stories. We're going maybe on a boat on Saturday if the weather holds up.
Hopefully, yeah. In
so
the morning, I think is the plan.
okay, cool. So
10 to 2. I'll
you
send you.
you asked me to be your +1 on this boat
I
trip.
did.
What's going on with this boat trip?
So we don't need this. Isn't
I kind of want to know.
It's an off mic.
Is it?
I mean, it's just like we don't need to tell the world our plans.
I mean, we're gonna tell them anyways next week. I want to tell the world our plans. What am I doing, V?
Okay, well, we're going to Lake Lanier
Woohoo!
for like 10 to 2.
Why is it so secretive?
I'm not. I'm just saying this is like not interesting content.
I think it is.
It's only interesting like once it actually happens.
Well, I mean, I want to set it up to be like, this is what we're gonna do, and then when we come back next week, it'll be like, this is what happened.
I like it more like when you just say what happened.
No, well, I mean, good thing I'm like running this ship at the moment, and
Okay.
yeah. So we're going out on a boat. I just kind of want to let the listeners know if I die out at
Well,
Lake
yeah,
Lanier
it's
this
kind of
weekend.
funny because there's a lot of like stuff about Lake Lanier about how it's dangerous.
Yeah, people like die all year long there.
Yeah, but like we won't.
That's what I'm sure. That's what the people that died out there said too.
Yeah.
Right. So, guys, if I
I've
don't
got
come
my
back,
bathing suit picked out. That's all I care about.
Guys, if I don't come back, you saw here first that Veronica's being really sketchy about this weekend.
Oh my
so
God, are
I'm
you
just
gonna
saying,
pin this
I'm
on
just
me?
saying though,
Oh
like
my
if there's
God.
any reason to suspect anybody in my death, Veronica was being really weirdly secretive about this trip. So hopefully I come back. But I have like
Oh my
I'm very unlucky when
God.
it comes to boats and waters. So as you guys heard last
Yeah,
week.
Jesus. Well, these are bigger boats, so I don't think you can flip it.
Okay. I'll try not to.
Yeah, and just keep your phone away from the water.
Do you got any floaties or a life jacket? I'll be there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be.
Yeah,
both.
anyways, all right. I love you guys. Shout out to everybody. This has been Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And we'll see you next week. Hopefully. Deuces.
Oh my God. Bye.
Future Bachelor Podcast.